Your narcissistic ex won't change. Like, I really want to just make that clear and harp on that. There's no amount of love, there's no amount of care, there's no amount of I've done this, I've done that. They won't change. They can't even see your empathy. They can't even see that. You gotta take this in. When they see you love them, it's a game. You know what I mean? It's a game, and they don't even think that it's real, because in their mind, as and this is gonna sound wild, in their mind, whatever it is you're doing to them, you're out to manipulate them. So they're trying to manipulate you first, when you're just trying to be a genuine human being to them. They don't even take you serious at all. They don't even take you serious once that devaluation stage starts to take place too. Like, they don't even take you serious anymore. They lose respect for you because you can't stand up to them, because you can't put your foot down. But at the same time, when you do that, you also entice them to go do something else and be entertained by somebody else, and or entertain somebody else. It's a losing battle when it comes to dealing with these kind of people, straight up. And also, for the biggest part too, with this entirety, you'll lose yourself trying to outlove the devaluation. Like, I've been there. I know what it's like to try to outlove the evaluation, try to outlove them more than everybody else and show, and it does not. You're not. You're not. They're gonna view you as a placement holder. I know that's crazy, but just hear me. They're gonna view you as a placement holder for the next supply to outdo you, because in their mind, it's a linear progression to get to the next person, next person, next person, next person, next person. You know what I mean? That's how they view that. I know that's crazy, but it's just the reality of it all. You know what I mean? Their love isn't the way that you think that it is. Their love to you is showing the moments when they can calm you down after you've had the most messed up inside emotions that come from dealing with this nonsense, dealing with this problem. You know, when they see that you're about ready to leave and stuff like that, when you're done and things of that nature, I need you to understand, when those moments that they fix it, that's because they haven't solidified and or locked in a new supply. They haven't. That's the devaluation starts when they lock in the new supply, when they start to see some type of leverage and or control over them. You know what I mean? That's when the devaluation typically starts, for the most part. And there's nothing you can do about it besides be who you've been, since they've been love bombing you since the entire thing has started. They're going to love bomb you heavy at the beginning. It's going to be so strong and so potent, because they they like to target the hopeless romantic. You know, they like to target the person that really wants to be in a loving relationship, because they know you're going to do what it takes to make that relationship as vast and strong as possible for yourself, though, in your own perception. They want you to work for yourself while working for them in a relationship. They want you to date yourself while you're dating them in a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? That evaluation stage starts when they got the next person locked in and primed and ready and grooming them. And throughout this process, throughout this triangulation, you'll start to see inklings of that individual that keeps popping up all of a sudden. Now you got to ask questions. Now you got to overly do things to pay attention. And they'll start to throw that word insecurity out there. And you don't want to feel insecure from the narcissist. No, you want to be strong. You want to be capable. You want them to know that you got them, that you trust them. So you're going to trust them. You're going to they want you to trust fool's gold. You feel what I'm saying? They want you to believe that when you go hang out with the friend group or the work group that got that one person that you've had to ask them about, they want you to trust them while they're out and about. So that way, when they come back around, you won't pressure them. You feel me? The whole point how narcissists move is elusive. They want to be able to swerve in and out of situations without somebody checking them. You know, that control, they don't want to feel controlled ever. So going around the new supply or people or flying monkeys, they're going to go around people who won't control them. You see what I'm saying? And when I say control, I mean like hold them accountable. You know, a lot of people outside of narcissism take accountability as control, and it's not. You're just telling somebody that they're sabotaging the relationship, the viewpoint you have of them by them having this behavior. You know what I mean? I wanted to emphasize that and separate that. But when you do that, that's going to put them in a state of, all right, I got to go get somebody else because this person is starting to figure me out. When you start to figure them out, it is a sign for them to hurry up and get the next supply and lock them in. So you don't know what's going on. You haven't the slightest. There's no need to really like spy and stuff like that. There's no need to do all that because you've already figured out the game. Trust your gut when you start to see the signs. They don't act the same all of a sudden out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, the things that you like to do with them, they don't like doing them no more all of a sudden. It was just to do that stuff with you. They were just smiling in your face saying, I do like this. No, they don't. They don't. Y'all don't even have, y'all stop having the same taste in things all of a sudden. And to you, it's a shock to your system because you thought that you and this person were soulmates. Because again, the love bomb is potent. It's so potent. I can't stress to you because when you're a person looking for love and looking to be in a relationship, that love bomb they do with you, when you be like, oh, then this person's the same person as me. I love this. This is amazing. Yeah. It's a game. It's a ruse. It's a mask. And when that mask slips, because I've mentioned this in one of my videos, it takes a lot of energy for a narcissist to love. That's why I always say, like, you can't love them into changing. There's no amount of waiting. There's no amount of love. There's nothing you can say. There's no amount of people you can pretend to transform into because you see how they're hanging around their people. Like, you try to do what it takes to keep them around. I know this is sounding crazy and wild, but it's just like, I just really want you to understand, like, because you love them. So you're willing to learn something new or be the spontaneous or whatever the case may be. You're willing to do all these crazy things while they see you and watch you jump through fire rings. They want to see you do that. They want to see what extreme lengths you will go through for them because now they know they got you trapped. You feel me? And also at the same time, they lose that respect for you. Yes, they lose respect for you while you're doing nice things to keep the relationship going because they see that you're allowing this nonsense. I know that's probably like, what do you mean? Ain't I'm supposed to be? Yes, you are supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing to keep the relationship and work on the relationship and put the effort into the relationship. The narcissist is not worried about that. They want to see how much of that you're going to do without them having to do anything. Because the moment you ask them for something like that in an emotional manner, and again, emotional anything is too much energy. Too much energy. Way too much. They don't like giving that much energy up. They want to be able to give energy out in spurts so they can get what they want and be done. And if you're not somebody entertaining their eyesight, the squirrel, you know what I mean, being spontaneous, they're not trying to do that because you become boring to them. During the evaluation stage, when they find a new supply, you become the old supply. You become boring. And you're only boring because you're figuring out what this is. It's not normal. None of this is normal. I just want you to understand that if you ever thought that you were crazy while dealing with them based off what it was, you're right. I just want you to understand that you're right up here. You know, you're not crazy. This behavior is not normal. This kind of relationship is not normal. You know, when they be like, you know, you got to be persistent in a relationship and do this in a relationship and it phosphor, just keep being persistent. Like I said before, regular relationship advice don't work with narcissistic abusive relationships. It don't work because people are telling you to cater to the narcissist. In essence, that's because they don't know how this person is. But you're not crazy is what I really want you to understand. You're not crazy. No, you're not insecure. I really want you to take that serious. You're not insecure for feeling like that they're around somebody else more than what they need to be. Talking about this person more than what they should. Doing things with this person you know they shouldn't. You're not crazy. I just really want you to woosah and take some stress off, some not stress, but just take off that relief. You're not crazy. I mean, I'm here to acknowledge the fact you're not crazy. You're just being a normal human being in a relationship that loves somebody. You know what I mean? Because you know in your heart of hearts you wouldn't do this to them, but they're gonna do it to you, and that's what I mean. It's a deadly game of you inside yourself tug of warring about, you know, disrespecting yourself, but also doing what it takes to keep the narcissist. It's a deadly game because that's how you lose yourself. That's how you lose who it is that you were before you got in this relationship. And why you see them happy and off and about doing stuff with whoever else, the flying monkeys and stuff, making everybody else so much more important. And sometimes, and I do want to say this, sometimes, at least I know for me in my experience, the things and/or people that are important to them is so random. It's so random. It's like they'll befriend somebody out and about when y'all hanging out and about at like a club or a bar, and all of a sudden they're best friends, and it's just it's weird because it's like you don't know this person like that, but you're making it more important than us hanging out. Trust me, I've been there. I know y'all been there where it's weird to hang around with them because you feel invisible. You're just there to be the DD. You know, you're just there to be the one liner, whenever that is, in the case of having. Like I said, at least for me, like I said, you start to dull yourself down. You start to tone yourself down and try to be whatever it is that the narcissist is looking for, because you see what they're doing with the new supply. Like I said, for those of us who have met the new supply, you know what I'm talking about. You know, well, yeah, let's do this, even though you don't like doing whatever the activity may have you, but you'll do it with them because you want them to hang around you. You are devaluing yourself through this entire thing. That's what they want you to do because you've become old. You've become the old supply. And that devaluation stage is so crazy because nothing you do fixes anything. Everything you do becomes some type of sense of controlling, some type of sense of insecurity. And you just need to work on yourself because your energy is so heavy. You know what I mean? You're heavy. You're always negative. No, you have a problem with their always negative behavior. Let me correct them and help you. You're always negative and heavy because you're bothered by the behavior and you don't know how to act in a relationship anymore. You don't. They know they can come in and out as much as they want to. They know that they don't have to talk to you if they want to. They don't have to do anything with you if you don't want to. And you need to have that same mindset. You need to know you don't have to be with them if you don't want to. You know what I mean? But again, you get stuck in that devaluation because you feel like you got to prove yourself to the new supply and step in and say stuff, whatever the case may have you. You don't need to do anything. They're not. They don't love them any more different than how they loved you. That's another thing I gotta key emphasize, harp on. You think that they love them the way that you think that they love them more than how they love you. No, it's the same level. It's the same thing. They're gonna do the same thing to them. Again, this whole phase is to lock them in. That's why at the beginning, when the love bomb happens, like, okay, some people's love bomb happens for a month, a year, or whatever the case may have you. That love bomb is going to extend and be as far as it's supposed to be. You feel me? Because they ain't locked in a new supply or found a new supply just yet. You know what I mean? And when they do, that's when you start to see them change from the soulmate. I thought you liked this kind of music. No, I don't like this kind of music. You know I don't never like this kind of music. Now they start saying stuff now they start saying stuff like, you knew I never liked these kind of stuff all of a sudden, but you did at the beginning. And for however long the love bomb happened. Now all of a sudden it's an issue. Your talents, your traits, what your circle and people around you like about you, it becomes an issue to them. They never like that. They're bothered by it. They got to find the other person that they can do other spontaneous and great and fun stuff that's not what you do, that they really like, and or they're doing that same thing that they did to you to them, liking what they like. They're their soulmate. They have deep conversations and stuff like that. They doing all those things to you that they're saying that you aren't this kind of person. You're not this kind of person. You don't need to be dressing like this. Da, 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 da. Those words, as much as your love for them is controlling because you just want to love them and take it as control. I know that's wild to hear, but that's just real though. Their words of what they're telling you, constructive criticism is their love. Their tough love is their love. You don't need to be dressing like that. Why are you doing this all of a sudden? That's not you. You should be doing it this way. That tough love or that criticism, that's how they start to love you, because it's easier to do that than love you a genuine and healthy way. They're not capable of healthy loving, healthy intimacy. It's not realistic for them. You feel me? They'll pretend that with the next supply in your face or other people. But even then, like, they're only doing that with other people because they don't have to be around those people 24/7 like you. You become an old supply because you start to figure out over time because you see them enough. These people, the flying monkeys and the new supply, don't see them enough, but the new supply will start to see how they are at the time when they switch over and hop ship. They gonna see that. And they're gonna do the same thing to they did to you to them. It's oh man, it's such a diabolical game and a diabolical way of moving around in this world when it comes to people like that. But it's just how it is. You just so happen to be fortunate that you've met this person. When I say unfortunately, sorry, I didn't like having to deal with this. I didn't like having to be bothered by this. I didn't want to have to go through this. I know you didn't want to too. Fortunately, you developed a sense of awareness to find self. You know what your self-worth is the right way, not in an unhealthy self-worth way. You found your self-worth in a healthy way because you understand, dang, I was really letting myself be the coat on the water for them to step on. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all this really is. And the more and more you stay in this relationship, your relationship is what it is, not theirs, it's yours, because you're dating yourself with them. You know, they want you to do all this for the relationship while they do nothing and go off and have fun and flip that into making it seem like it's your fault that they're doing this. They want to flip this on you and make it seem like it's your fault that I'm hanging out with New Supply because they're more fun than you are. And you always got something negative to say and bring up my emotions and my behavior, and you trying to control me. That's what they're doing. They're flipping all this on you. And because you're so caught up from the love bomb, and you still think the love bomb is going to happen during the evaluation stage, that you don't even understand that they're making you love bomb yourself, gaslight yourself. When you start to gaslight yourself, you're willing to accept all the nonsense, all the behavior that you thought you was never going to have to deal with in a relationship. And this is how they are. Straight up. The new supply is gonna go through the same thing too. They don't love them more or less than you. They love everybody the same way. You know, and in the moment that it becomes not fun for the reasons that I specify in this video, the next supply and the next supply and the next supply. And they keep doing that until you remove yourself. But let me not say you remove yourself, them removing you. Most of the time it's them removing you. Most of the time it's them forcing the breakup. You know what I mean? Because they done dealing with you holding them accountable. I know you probably weren't trying to hear that because I didn't like it either, but it's just real though. They done dealing with that accountability. They want to be places where people are not going to hold them on their disrespectful behavior. They're going to be places where people are not talking about how messed up this one night was and what they did. They don't want to hear that. It has to be a fun environment 24/7. They have to wake up with that. And if you're not waking up with that, next to them doing that, they're going to remove themselves. You know what I mean? But regardless, however the removal happens of you or them, you need to understand that your mentality is more important than abiding and pleasing the narcissist. Your mental state. Again, You lose yourself doing this because you start to tone yourself down. You're not as you're not who you were at the beginning. You start to tone yourself down and you just analyze and you just sit back and be like, dang, I wish this would stop happening. What else can I do? There's nothing else that you can do. And I'm not trying to make it sound like you should feel defeated, but you should feel empowered because you've realized what a person you shouldn't be with looks like. You've realized what self-worth, again, in a healthy way looks like. You've realized what you need to be whole, and also what you need to look for in somebody else that's a whole person. Because I strongly believe in what I'm about to say. When people say that's my other half, I've never believed in that. Like, I never believed in that's my half and I'm a half, we come together. Like, when you're a half and another person's a half, you come together and make a zero. But when you're a whole and a whole and you come together, you make infinity. I strongly believe in that. You know what I mean? So you have to become a whole person again in order to love somebody else and also see those same traits in another person so that you can have a healthy relationship. You know what I mean? The narcissist is real good at faking you that they are like that, they're that person. But when you start to see these symptoms and you start to see stuff go downhill, again, if you got the courage, remove yourself so that you don't have to do so much work on the damage here, because you're not crazy. Not at all. I promise you. The narcissist cannot love the way you think they will. They won't change for the new supply. They're going to do the new supply the same way. The old supply, or the new supply, going to become the old supply. Nobody can keep up with the narcissist's insatiable appetite for entertainment and new and fun. Nobody can keep up with that. It's not realistic. Not even they self. That's why they look for it in other people. You feel what I'm saying? So I hope this video helped. I hope this message finds you well. I'm Fonzie Murph, and I'm out. Peace.